Alright, well, I want to do a video about cooking a perfect steak, if you could call it that, or whatever, but just some pointers. I used to be a meat cutter at Publix supermarket in Florida for about a year. I learned quite a bit about beef back then. If you want to cook a really good steak, I mean, mouth-watering the best you can, first of all, I don't think there's anything that can compare to a ribeye, that's what we got here. So that's, to me, that's the best steak. This is my own opinion. Well, anyway, and then you want to pick one out that has decent marbling. This one's pretty good. It's got some good marbling around in here. This is the best part of the steak over here. That looks pretty good. It's a little red there, a little redder than normal. Maybe it froze there or something at one time. But that steak looks pretty good. I'd rate that from 1 to 10 about an 8 or 9. So that's really important to pick out a good steak. I was at Piggly Wiggly supermarket yesterday, and they had 3-packs, and I didn't want to buy 3 steaks, so I asked if you can cut 2 of them with some good marbling. So it looks pretty good. That's the most important thing on having a really good ribeye steak. The second thing is they come in a cryovac package. You know, a ribeye comes in about, I don't know, they're about 15 inches long, and they come sealed in a cryovac package, and there's, you know, obviously hasn't been exposed to any oxygen or anything. So what you want to do with this steak, if it was cut that day, you could look at the sell-by date on the packages. You don't want to cook it the same day it was cut. This was cut yesterday, so I'm going to cook it tonight. I only aged it 1 day, but it's better to buy it, maybe poke a couple little holes in the package, let it breathe a little bit, and let it sit in your refrigerator for 3, maybe 4 days. 4 days is probably tops. If it starts to turn a little bit of brown, it's not going to hurt it. Beef lasts quite a while. But that's important too. So you want to get the right cut of meat with good marbling. You want to age it for 3 days, maybe 4. Then you want to, before you cook it, you want it to be room temperature. You don't want this to be cold in the center. It's better to have it room temperature. And on a ribeye, I don't season it really. I put a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then I put a little bit of olive oil, and that's it. That's all I put on a steak. So I rub that in. You know, you work it a little bit, flip it over. I use my clean hand to grab this because I don't get oil all over the salt. Oh, that's a little too much on that side. Oh well. And now I'm just going to put a tiny bit of oil on this side. Work that in a little bit. I think a ribeye steak has plenty of flavor. You don't need to go crazy putting marinade on it. You don't want to marinate them. Well, you can if you want, but that's how I like it, just like that. And then cooking it, you're better off with charcoal. Charcoal gives you a little bit better flavor. I don't have any, well, I got some charcoal right now, but I haven't been using my charcoal grill. I'm going to cook that on my propane grill. But that's all I do, and if you follow those steps, pick out a good piece of meat, let it age, room temperature, and don't go crazy with the seasonings because you want to taste the ribeye, the beef. Really good flavor there. So that's what I do. Wash my hands. But that's how you get a good steak. And we're going to cook that in about an hour. I'm going to let that sit for a while. I'm going to cook it in an hour, and I'll show you guys how it came out. It's going to be good. Alright, that steak was standing in the kitchen for about an hour and a half. And let's throw baby on the grill. And we'll be back, check on it a little while. Cooking about 350 degrees right now. Alright, time for a flip. You can also run your grill a little hotter and sear both sides when you first, sear each side really quick. And that helps keep the juices in, but I just flip it like one time, maybe twice at the most. That was running closer to 400 degrees right there. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, this had a little flare up. I got it under control. But yeah. Oh yeah. Keeps coming off. Right now. And I always like to put foil over it the second it comes off the grill. That way it keeps all the steam and heat and whatever you call it right in. Wrap it up tight, keep all that frickin' steam in there. Alright, bring it inside, time to eat. Alright, let it stand for about 5 minutes. Let's check it out. Oh yeah. That smells pretty good. I'm not going to dump that gravy out. I know someone that might want that gravy on their dog food. Huh, Bella? Oh yeah. Let's check it out. Could have probably left it on another minute or two, but it's all right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's good. Alright, well that's how I like to cook my ribeye steaks. Yeah, look who's all perked up now. Alright, later guys.